upcoming Halloween craft, I'm gonna show you how I painted my Day of the Dead themed resin cat. I'm starting with a plain white resin cat. This is from the ArtMinds brand. This cat is ready to paint. It feels like it's been gessoed, so I'm not going to gesso it. I will, however, start painting it with watered down white acrylic paint. Here's the white acrylic paint, and then I'm going to use some water to thin it out a little bit, and then I'm going to cover the cat. The reason I am doing this is because the white of the resin is possibly a different color than the white paint. I know that sounds kind of weird, but with white there are different shades and different colors of white. So to ensure that everything is the same color, I use this watered down white paint to make everything one color. That way if I have to go back over it, I can just use the white paint. It works out fine. It's the same shade, same color, same match, everything. It makes life so much easier. This cat was gifted to me in 2020 for my birthday from a good friend, but it took me about a year to paint it because I only have one of this cat. I got out my iPad and I used Procreate to paint over a photo I had taken of this cat. And this helps me place the colors where I want to so that I can plan out my painting ahead of time. If everything's planned out on Procreate first, it gives me a chance to recreate it in person. What? I found the cat on Michael's website. It says it takes about an hour and it's a beginner craft. Here's the description if you want to check it out. Yeah, that's, chunky. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with this one instead. I start off with some black paint. This is from the Americana brand. The eyes are recessed and I kind of wanted to see the eyes filled in. I'm sure you could do it with resin. I am too scared to use resin, so I didn't do that, but I feel like it would look super cool. For the eyes, I decided to do an orange to yellow gradient. I thought this looked really interesting. And then I used black for the pupils. And then I just brought out the white shine a little bit more. Next, I take an Americana brand red paint and I paint around the eyes. I use the same red paint for the inside of the ears. Researching Dia de los Muertos artwork before I started this project showed me that they use a lot of bright colors such as red, orange, yellow, so I tried to stick with colors that matched. On the ear, I gave it little dots of white using a dotting tool. And on the back of the ears, I did small red flowers with an orange middle. I think this looked really cute. Next, I'm painting a green line on both sides of the face, and I'm going to put some dots above that with the dotting tool. On a lot of the sugar skull designs that I saw online, many of them had dots on the face in all sorts of different colors. I'm trying to mimic that here by using a bunch of different colored dots on the cat's face. Next, I just continue painting the negative areas of the cat with black. There are raised areas on the cat, and all of those have a color in them, and then the recessed areas are either black or it's a totally different color because it's surrounded by one of those raised areas. I'm using acrylic paints for this project. One of the reasons why acrylic paint is so difficult to use is because it dries very, very fast. So I didn't do too much color mixing on this. I tried to use paint straight from the bottles. When you mix colors, you should try to finish the project pretty soon because you'll have to mix the color all over again if it dries out. Sometimes it's hard to color match. The thing about acrylic paint is sometimes the color will dry darker than what it looked like when it was wet, so it's hard to gauge. Sometimes the camera battery died or I forgot to record, and unfortunately a lot of the footage in here I wasn't quite centered in the camera or was even off screen, so I'm very sorry about that. I had to cut a lot of footage, but I tried to do the best that I could. This cat has a yellow rose and a red rose. With the yellow rose, I painted the base color yellow, and then I did orange shading in between the petals. However, for the red one, I did orange highlights. Now I'm painting in the tail. I have an alternating blue and yellow coloring on the tail, and then the top part of the tail is going to be red. This part was really hard because there's a lot of little nooks that the paint could go in, and those zigzag lines on the cat's tail. We're going to echo the flowers on the back of the ears, on the tails, as well as small details. The flowers are alternating colors. The blue stripes get yellow flowers with a red dot, and the yellow stripes get blue flowers with a red dot. Sorry for this whole part being off screen. Now that the cat is finished, I'm going to varnish it in a Liquitex varnish. My varnish is satin finish. I feel like for some projects glossy is too shiny and matte doesn't really bring out the color. I like to use satin for a lot of sculptures and figurines because I feel like it's the perfect compromise between glossy and matte. And here's the finished project. I signed my initials on the bottom and the year. This cat looks so cool and so colorful. I really love how it came out. it turned out a lot better than the one I saw on the Michaels website. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you if you decide to make your own Day of the Dead cat.